where we started. We're in our home. There's no shows. And we're writing funny things down. We have no one to perform them to. And then now we have a Zoom thing, and it's like, how do you tell a joke into a vacuum? You know? And how do you want to do your set? Have you done this before where you're like going through like what's in my set works for this time and place that we're in right now? And I really love Samantha Gilwhite has been doing this character, Babette Muffins. I love that comedians are doing characters. I love that Caitlin Gill just took a En Vogue song and dissected it for 20 minutes because she said she could never do it on stage because it was too long form, but it really worked for Zoom because she could show the video. So Dave Ross also did a thing with a screensaver where he did like 20 minutes on a screen. So I think it's turning on a different part of comedians' brains right now of how do I adapt, like, you know, evolve or perish. Yeah. Well, again, I think, you know, I said this thing, I go, it was Earth Day, whatever, a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, you know, this is the year Mother Gaia is mad at us and sent everybody to their room to think about what we've done. And that's what sure, you can stay medicated the whole time, but this is the time to think about who we are. Who are you? Who are you without the things that, like, I'm a comedian. Okay, well, if you're not a comedian, who are you? Well, it's like I'm a bartender. Well, no, you're not, because that restaurant's closed. So who are you? I think we have the time to think about it, you know. And so
what you're saying is a comedian then has to ask, who am I without live stand-up?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot.
It is a lot. And then also why? So like we kind of covered, you know, and I think like someone like, you know, again, I know your story, like you saw stand-up comedy when you were a kid and you're like, this is it. I don't know you knew you wanted to get into it. I never knew I wanted to get into it. I was like Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters, where I would draw Harpo Marx all the time. I would put on shows, but I didn't consciously go, oh, I want to do this forever as a living, as a performer. But my path went that kind of blindly, my path led that way. So I think it's so interesting how we all find our thing into comedy. But I think if you're a kind of comic who is shallow in their passion, who fell into comedy, who maybe was a misanthrope and went to the Blue Lagoon and was like, I want to be part of this scene. I want to, you know, they were attracted to it like a moth to a flame. And now that it's not there, the social thing's not there, the party after's not there, the free beer and the alcohol's not there, the serotonin hit from that joke that you told. You don't even hear the silence from the other 30 jokes. Now you don't have that, and you miss it, and you're shitting on Zoom. Zoom's not real. Zoom's not comedy. That says more about you than it does about Zoom and comedy.